The rain pants have come off for Donghae, who's a little bit further up the back nine. Second end of the 15th for Ham, who's one over. Almost got it to 1 under in a hurry. Fabulous shot there at the short par 4.
Also looks to be a layup for Ishikawa, but just trying to get it as close as he can to the green.
He'll be playing his third from somewhere around where we saw Sungtik Lee earlier on. As long as that stayed out of that thick rough, it should be fine for Rio. The ball sitting down a little in that bluegrass, Kentucky bluegrass rough for Yubin. Just a bit of an awkward looking layup, especially when you're coming over the bulk of the water from the right hand side of this fairway. Such a shallow portion you're trying to play into. And, ooh, I think it's just cleared the penalty area, but it wasn't by much.
It looked like it took off right of where he was looking, and the ball was fading. Hopefully that is safe for Yubin.
Doesn't look too bothered. Let's try and have another look here. We did see it pitch, but where exactly has that come down? Oof, is it far enough away from the reeds?
When you're hitting long iron out of the wet rough, you do have to be careful. The ball does come out a lot lower, loses a lot of distance. Just over the green at the 14th for Jun.
Not easy, short-sighted, coming out of now wet, compacted sand. Played that very well. Got to be so aggressive. This with the denseness of the bunkers you have here. Back to 15, and Richard Lee, only player in this group under par for the day. Nice birdie there for Richard. Moves himself back to 3 under. Always remember that ridiculous putt he holed on the 10th hole Sunday at Bears Best, en route to his victory at the Shinhan Donghae Open back in 2017. He was a good 30 yards short of the 10th green. Made a monster putt that catapulted him to victory. Just a little frustration starting to boil over for Donghae. It's not been the start to the championship that he was looking for.
Just got to be careful with this one, with the calculated distance. There is water just beyond the pin and to the right. Don't feel good about this shot. You just look about 3-4 yards left of this pin.
Oh, had us fooled with the follow through there. Good take go. He Matsuyama'd us. He's gosh darn you hold it. So we're being told that that second shot of Yubin is dry, but that is some of the thickest rough you're going to see on the golf course. Just as well, he's a pretty strong lad. He's going to take a hefty swipe at this. Just a bit of hit and hope here.
They're just trying to gouge it out. Just using the rollout of the golf ball. Just doesn't want to be too strong with this shot. If he lands too far onto the green and the ball starts to tumble, don't want to have a chip from just over the green. There is potentially a chance of going in the water over. No, that lie was too thick. The ball's coming out soft. Oh, hang on.
just about going to Yupin Chang. Across to the 18th hole. Shot in for Sung-hyun John. Oh, excellent shot there from John. He's playing alongside Kosuke Suzuki, who's at 1 under, and Sang-pil Yoon, winner of the season opening Promi Open on the PGA Tour. It was 1 over par. Now Ishikawa. Plethora of options here for Rio.
Yeah, and it helps with the depth perception. A lot better having a ball close to the hole. He's looking at the pin and the hole. Just wary of the water beyond the pin.
Pretty nicely played shot from Ishikawa. Chance to get back amongst the birdies after his drop shot at 12.
It's always tough playing a shot where the mistake is long. You know you want to get it all the way there, but a lot of the times your ball ends up pulling up just short, just to safeguard against making that big mistake.
Guntik just taps that one in for his birdie. He'll move himself back to 2 under par. Nice bounce back after the drop shot at 12. Coincidentally, first birdie he's made since the 2nd hole. He's had his chances. Kongwat Mai. So he's carried that cross bunker on 14, so much shorter shot coming in for Pet. Justin Shin, joint runner-up back in 2022, and this championship was played at the Koma Country Club in Japan. Canadian-born Korean, absolutely flagging it there at 17, and he's had a bit of a rough year, Justin Shin. It's a good week here. Need a couple more shots like that.
He's playing this almost like a chip.
He's played it very well. Interesting technique, but had the ball well back in the stance, hands ahead. It's like a little pop and run. Crafty little shot there from Yupin Chang, who will escape his 13th hole with no damage done. Ricky Kawamoto bogeyed the 13th, so he's back down at 2 under par now.
He's got to be pleased with that effort. Saw that spinach come out after impact. Must have been a thick lie where he was.
Well, his countryman Ishikawa for birdie on 13. Yeah, good little bounce back there for Rio. Just like Guntik go. Responds with a birdie on the par 5.
always feels nice to capitalize on a good shot like that.
It's an even par as Sung-Hyun John make his way across to start his back nine. Got up John into 15. Raised target this green at the short par 4. Players can't see the bottom of the flagstick, just have to trust your number.
Syntac Lee. Making this 4th hole quite easy. It's 450-yard par 4. Playing a bit downwind for these players. Now these bunkers on the left, it's 280 yards to carry, 290 yards to get to the fairway. So for the power hitters, just a right bunker there, just about 300 yards off the tee. That's the one in play. So overall, not a wide landing area for these guys.
Pretty much an average length hitter is Guntik goes, so he's going to have to go into the narrower portion of the fairway, spread it between the bunkers.
Well, he went after it. It's a good hit. Even Yubin Jang was impressed.
He's got gears, Guntik.
And gave him the nod of approval.
He's the eldest statesman in this group, Ryo Ishikawa, at the age of 32.
If he aims it towards the left edge of the fairway, it is a shorter carry over those green side or fairway bunkers.
Found that narrow sliver of fairway between the traps. It's 281 yards to cover that left-hand trap. So it really shouldn't be a problem for Yubin Jang.
The only thing that he's looking to avoid is that right bunker about 300 yards off the tee.
Solid tee shots off the 14th for these boys. So Jae Won-om is your early pace setter at the 40th Shinhan Donghae Open off the back of that lovely 65 with birdies on his closing 3 holes. Tomoyo Ikemura trying to inch ever closer. He's got 6 holes left to play here on day 1 of the Shinhan Donghae Open. Sean Norris, Chan Min-jung and Gan Charong-kun all playing together on day one. Three of them 2 under par, so too Mingyu Cho all at 2 under. With a fair amount of golf still to be played here in the opening round of the Shinhan Donghae Open. David Drysdale's just dropped back a shot, gave up his birdie at the par 5 fifth with a drop shot at the 6th, but he's still the right side of par. At present, 69 players in red figures here on Thursday in Incheon. We're up at the Maekyong Open back in May. Shanlatid Shinbongam opening his first trip to the Ocean Course around the 72. Dramatic playoff victory for Hong-taek Kim over Shinbongam at Namseol Country Club, keeping the Maekyong Open title on Korean soil once again. It's one of the big 4 majors here in South Korea, the Shinhan Donghae Open alongside with the Maekyong Open, the Kolon Korea Open and the SK Telecom. Most coveted prizes here in the land of morning calm, the 40th staging of this championship, which began all the way back in 1981. Now, Pachara for birdie at 14. Just a little drained this season, Anthony. Just doesn't quite have that same spark that we normally see from him.
Yeah, he's having a tough year this year. I think he is 44th on the Asian Tour Order of Merit. He's finished inside the top 9 the past 3 seasons, and we're so used to seeing Pachara right up there on a weekly basis, contending for the title. Still got 3 days left. He can get on that hot form, and Sungtaek Lee. Nice birdie there at the 14th.
Now we hit at 15. Garam Dion. Great second into here, but this putt with a bit of swing from left to right. Oh, how's that one stayed out? Great effort, but just a par. Ishikawa, first fairway he's missed today, but the lie, let's say, it could have been worse here at 14.
Yeah, it looks okay. You can see the top of the ball, and the grass doesn't look that thick.
Sounded like solid contact. Maybe a bit of a flyer there for Ishikawa. That could get a little bit fiddly. He's got a little hump between himself and the hole.
Yeah, perhaps just misjudged the amount of the carry that the ball will have out of this lie. There is that downwind that's helping the players as well. But it gets tricky. You see the moisture on the blades of the grass. You know that's going to kill the distance just a little bit, but he may have just been unlucky there. Yubin Jang. Anything slightly left of the pin would be ideal, but that's not that bad either.
Yeah, he'll take 4 feet right of it. Great shot there from Jang. That's the difference power makes. Coming in with a shorter iron and that tremendous trajectory he can produce. That to come down really nice, high and soft. We're up to 16, and Richard Lee.
He was a big factor in this tournament last year, was contending for the win, but it was a 3-putt at this hole last year that very much erased any chances of holding up the trophy. I think he felt 2 back with 2 to play. Trying to negotiate that hump in the halfway portion on his route to the hole.
A fabulous shot from Ryo Ishikawa. Touch of class there for him. That ball sitting as nicely as it was, almost like it was on a tee peg. Sometimes you fear that you open up that club face, it's just going to slide straight under it. So play that with a little bit more of sort of a square club face at address. Just let the natural loft of that lob wedge do the work for him. Very instructive how Ishikawa played that shot, and he'll walk off with a par 4.
That's a man that's got a lot of experience, having most likely made mistakes with those similar lies previously. It's not as simple as you go up there and open up that club face. Just got to make sure that when the ball is teed up, you're going to catch it on the high part of the club face anyway, so the ball's going to come out soft. So well judged there by Ishikawa.
Good tick, sizing up this birdie opportunity.
And the par 4s here at this golf course, the players do have to light up. Looking at the top 5 players from last year, the par 4s, they averaged 10.5 strokes under par, while the par 5s were 8 under par. So when you have scoreable par 4s, there are 6 par 4s that are under 405 yards. 400-yard par 4s nowadays, it's a short par 4. When you get those opportunities at these scoreable par 4s, you do have to take advantage if you want to be right in the mix on Sunday.
Well, took advantage of the par 4. 15th did 14th did Sung Taek Lee. What did he do to the slightly shorter 15th? Just throwing darts out there right now. With the wind down, you'd have to say pretty much ideal scoring conditions at this point in the afternoon.
Yeah, the afternoon players just had to contend with that bothersome rain for 1/3 of their round, and now they got free reign out here. Maybe down with this birdie attempt, should curl just gently to his left.
Should have listened to Mr. Kang there, Yubin. Almost looked to play that straight. Squanders a golden chance, but still, it's been pretty solid so far in the opening round for this 22-year-old. Subtle breaks around these greens. To the 18th hole, and birdie putt for Yuki Kataoka. Leaves it short in the jaws, but it's going to be a bogey-free front nine of 2 under par 34. Root teed off at 10 minutes past 12 local time here in South Korea. It's just taken them 4 hours to make it here to the 15th.
And they're looking at another scoreable par 4. Two ways to play this hole. One, they can blast a driver and challenge those fairway bunkers to leave himself a short shot, but that's a risky shot for a hole of this length. Most will play short of this bunker on the right. 297 off the tee. You'll see a lot of players use 3 woods or even driving irons off the tee to position themselves correctly for their second.
Described, Anthony, no need for the driver here on 15. Just play for position. You're going to be having a wedge into this elevated target anyway. You'll be coming out of the fairway with a nice full number.
You can even hit 4-iron off the tee and still give yourself a wedge. In the practice rounds, the players do hit drivers on this hole to give themselves the 40-50 yards, but you're challenging the fairway bunker on the left, so the risk not worth the reward. Working with a wide fairway with this club.
Fairway safely found there for a good take goal on the green. Kong Wat Mai to take his tally to 2 under.
And it's the perfect place to putt from. Gentle uphill putt this.
Just a little too gentle with the pace, unfortunately, for Bachara. He's been a pro for more than half his life, Ryu Ishikawa. Pro back on New Year's Day in 2008 as a 16-year-old. Now John into 16.
It's a friendly pin position in the front portion of this green. Not much slope around where the hole is cut. Once you do see the pins move to the right corner or the back left corner, that's when it poses a big problem for these players.
Played as the hardest hole on the golf course throughout the weekend stages of this championship last year. It's just the 8th hardest on day 1. Now Zhang also going with driving iron on the 15. This is the right club, you feel. Bit of a cheerless day thus far for Jung Woo Ham. 2 holes left to play. This is for birdie at 17 for the reigning Genesis points winner. And it's just been that kind of off afternoon. Close, but no cigar. It's been a pretty tough day for the man in black there as well. Chan Zichang, 4 over the card. The man from Chinese Taipei. talked about when they start moving that pin further back in the green, it's kind of where the ball of Takashi Ogiso has ended up.
That's the raised portion on this right portion of this green, so just a downhill putt left here for Ogiso.
Currently sits 8th on the money list in Japan, by virtue of that victory earlier on at the co-sanctioned Hana Bank Championship. It's a good solid 2-putt par for Takashi.
A good comeback for Karamjan today. A tough start for him. On the very first hole, he plugged his tee shot in the fairway bunker, the lip of the fairway bunker. Took him 2 to get out there. It was a bogey at the opening hole, bogey at the third. Currently 3 under par for his round.
Chance to take it to 4 with this putt at 16. Quite had the conviction. Just the 8 birdies the 16th hole has yielded today as we drop back to the 15th, and Guntek second.
And looking at the hole location, players should have an idea that there is a sharp slope from right to left, and anything on the right of the hole poses a potential big break-in putt, so they want to leave themselves left of this pin location if they can.
Ishikawa perhaps signaling for the players behind on the 14th green to go ahead and hit their putts first before he strikes his second. With the group of Hiroshi Iwata, Hongtaek Kim and Jazz Jane Watanen on. Hongtaek Kim going along the best in that threesome, he's 2 under. Controlled into that perfect spot Anthony was describing earlier from Ryo Ishikawa.
I saw his caddy the late portion of yesterday, just about 5 p.m., walking the golf course and really taking a good look at the greens, the slopes, and just measuring distances, not only from front to back, but from right to left as well. So giving Ryo information, those important information, or giving Ishikawa the most important information to have the most success at converting birdies.
Knocked it stiff from a similar yardage back at 11. Just a little shy there on 15. Still pretty good though from Yubin Jang. Is not quite striking his irons as crisply as he would like. We've seen a couple of the shots, instead of take the one hop and grab, just release on a little bit this opening round. Doesn't lack for speed, doesn't lack for spin when he comes into the greens with short irons and wedges. Yubin Jang. To be 22 years of age and good at golf, eh, Kangster?
And especially with setting sights on the big stages, all these players, like Yubin Jang's caliber, he's targeting the PGA Tour, and the Korean Tour offers a pathway in form of offering spots into the final stage of Korn Ferry Tour School. So whoever wins their Genesis points list gets an exemption into that. Yubin Jang and Min-Kyu Kim both fighting hard for that spot.
Well, I am pleased to report that we have parity at the top of the leaderboard. Jiwon has been caught by Tomoyo Ikimura, who's just converted a birdie at the par 5 fifth to move alongside at 7 under par. So 2 tied now, 2 clear of a threesome at 5 under. Of the Genesis points list also gets a special category on the DP World Tour as well.
Yeah, they do. It's a decent card for the winner of this Genesis points list. It's a card where you can actually plan out your schedule. It's just above Q School, I believe, so you won't get into all the tournaments, but you can have a decent schedule. Jung-Woo Ham this year, he had that option, didn't take it up, did not travel to Europe, did travel to Korn Ferry Tour to play in a few tournaments through getting his card through the Q School last year.
Certainly exciting times in the world of golf. Lots of opportunities, lots of different options for the young talents of the game. Where do you want to ply your trade? What goals do you have? What do you want to achieve in this great game? And certainly talk about the prize money on offer in the game of golf these days, Anthony. A far cry from where it was even a decade ago.
Yeah, the significant rise in prize money, it's making it attractive for the young players, especially junior golfers, to really look forward to making a great life playing professional golf. And there's plenty of opportunities right now with the formation of live golf as well. So it's an added, I guess, pool of players that can actually have a great life playing golf. And you see the PGA Tour, substantial rise in their prize money, European Tour as well, and the Asian Tour, and filtering down to especially on the Korean Tour as well. They're playing for an average of $1 million a tournament for over 20 tournament schedule.
Such a great developmental program as well offered in South Korea. KGA, they've got a wonderful talent identification system, breeding pool, giving players opportunities to compete, to be prepared to come out and join the play for pay ranks. Look at what's come through the last couple of seasons. Min-Kyu Kim, he's almost half a generation before the Woo Young Cho's, the Yubin Jangs, the Gun-Tae Go's, the Seung Bin Choi's that have come through the last couple of seasons, and they have taken to professional game quite quickly, and that wasn't often the case, particularly when you turned pro all those years ago, Anthony.
Oh yeah, it's just the information that's available with the data that's available and the science behind proving what makes a champion golfer, what you need to do in your game. Back then, it was you just didn't know the secrets of the top pros, but now all that information is available even as a junior golfer. For instance, you hit a wedge shot from 100 yards out, you need to hit it this distance to be considered very good. And having that information, the kids are rapidly improving.
Yeah, it almost feels like through the years and through the advent of information, you've been able to distill that information into a quantifiable formula for success. You still got to get the job done, you still have to hit the shots and hold the putts, but there appears to be a clearer pathway, an information pathway anyway, to this is what it takes to be a good golfer.
Yeah, that curve of learning how to become a top pro, it has really been shortened to where it's available now, even at the age of 12, 13, 14, playing junior golf. And that's why you see these young players just with a ready game, even at the age of 20.
Two decent birdie putts, but no birdies to be found for Ko and Yubin Jang at the 15th. Still, you look at Well, the depth of talent here, and particularly in South Korea, where we come 3 times a year on the Asian tour, you just see year in, year out, there's a new and exciting crop of players that not only are good golfers, but are ready to win.
And it's the work ethic of Koreans in general. Once they do go to the driving range, they're there all day, from sun up to sundown, trying to perfect all those movements.
Well, first look of the week at the dot map. Anthony, take us through.
Well, you can see the cluster of balls where it's been hit all day today. Most of the players will actually favor short of the hole. They don't want to go past the hole. There's a little ridge that goes into a depression. You see the birdies made from basically underneath the hole, except for one who got overly exuberant from a close distance. That looks like a 3-putt.
A couple of careless 3-putts on the green there at 17. Easy to do, really. Now, unfortunately, Giso did 3-putt. The 16 missed that tiddler. We last saw him, so he's now back at 1 under par. Doesn't seem overly enamored with this tee shot into 17. Oh, could be in 3-putt country.
This is basically directly underneath the hole. Not much break in this.
Slams it confidently into the back of the cup. That's more like it from Ryo Ishikawa. He steadied the ship with a couple of birdies, taking him back to 3 under par.
Now moving on to this long par 4, 16th. Fairway bunker on the right. This is the only fairway bunkers that's going to be in play for these players. They're not going to be able to see the landing zone from where they're hitting. The tee is slightly below where the fairway is, hitting over the cross bunkers on the left side. The target line, just pick out one of the bunkers on the left. It's just a 240-yard carry over those bunkers, so not in play. And with this front hole location, it doesn't really make a difference whether you're in the fairway or just in the rough. The play from the rough would be just to leave it short of the green for a simple up and down pitch.
Follows Ishikawa down the center stripe of the fairway at 16. Does Gunter go? Been a bit of a tough day for S.H. Kim. Took a bogey at 6, a triple bogey at 7, did birdie 11. So a string of pars since, but this is to get back to 2 over. Oh, well done. Battling hard. Missed the cut last year at this championship. So we'll be hoping it's not headed for a similar fate still. A lot of golf to play. Be out in calmer conditions tomorrow morning. Jang, expect him to start this just over those cluster of bunkers on the left. Hit his big high power fade back into the fairway. Length certainly is a weapon, and Yubin Jang is wielding it very effectively here on day 1.
It's a tricky read from this side of the hole. There should be a left to right movement as the ball approaches the hole.
Correct once again, Mr. Kang, unfortunately. Just forgot to hit it. Back to 16 and Suntek Lee. Birdie opportunity here. Just want to drift a fraction left on Lee. Yes, nicely holed. Well done there. Second birdie in a 3-hole stretch. Take him to 2 under par. Goodness, that was almost a straight push from Bachara. He's hit a couple of very curious putts today.
On the final hole, Jung-Woo Ham. Just a bit of a downhill lie.
Oh, well done. That's a nice way to end a long and difficult day for Jung-Woo Ham. Putter hasn't cooperated. Why not make birdie with a wedge? Well done. Level past 72 for him. At the moment, only good enough for a share of 73rd. You're watching day one coverage of the 40th Shinhan Donghae Open here in South Korea. The 2017 champion, Richard Lee, unfortunately just dropped a shot at the 17th, but this is an eagle putt for him. Must have been some second he hit to leave himself in this position. Oh no. Grabs the edge, but not enough. Still. That is going to be a solid way to start his campaign. 69 for Richard Lee. Long overdue a third Asian Tour title, you have to say. My word, he has come close on several occasions. One of the more recent international victors at the Shinhan Donghae Open, Gangjit Bola prevailing in awful conditions at Sunday in 2016. Richard Lee fending off Gavin Green in 2017. JB Kruger, the victor in 2019, and Kazuki Higa winning on home soil when this championship moved across the North Sea to Goma Country Club in what was a stunning season for Higa, one of his 5 victories on the Japanese Tour in 2022. But the 2023 champion will be first to play into the 16th.
It's just a distance that the players will have to hit for their second shot. That's the problem. But where the pin is, you don't really have to worry about too much trouble to the left or the right. Looked like that was just slightly heavy with the contact.
We alluded to it throughout the course of the coverage. I mean, he hasn't had his best stuff today. Good take go, but he's still 2 under par. Ishikawa from 186 yards. We'll find the front section of the green and we'll have a very good look at birdie.
Even at 470 yards in length, it's just a short iron for Yu Bin Jiang.
Well, the Ocean Course here at Club 72, the 13th different host venue of the Shinhan Donghae Open. Began in 1981, played, funnily enough, at Namseol Country Club, the home of the Maekyong Open. It's Jae Wong-on and Tomoyo Ikemura, who are your pace setters here in the opening round. Ikemura still with a couple of holes to play. Them at 7 under par, 2 shots clear of Vitrio at 5 under. There's quite a bit of talent in that group at 4 under par. Tell you what, Taboina, Buribunsab, Youngjun Bae, and Korean Open runner-up Yonghan Song. Travis Smythe also up at 4 under, with back-to-back birdies at 12 and 13. Brad Kennedy, former New Zealand Open champion, opening his title bid here with a 3 under par 69. Ishikawa and Kawamoto, part of our featured group coverage this afternoon. 2 Japanese stars at 3 under par with just a few holes left to play. Big hitting Ryutaru Nagano, scribbling his name next to a 70. Same 2 of the 2022 champion Kazuki Higa. After that nice birdie at 16 sees him up to 2 under par alongside Guntek Ko and the Maekyong Open champion Hongtaek Kim, a pair of Maekyong Open champions on that page of the leaderboard. In fact, the evergreen Kyung Jung Moon 2 under with just 3 holes left to play. Another New Zealand Open champion, this year's New Zealand Open champion Takahiro Hataji. He's playing alongside Chaz Jane Watananon. He's at 2 under. Korean Hulk, Chan Min Jung, 2 under par, playing in the company of Sean Norris and Gan Charong Kun, a pair of which just back at 1 under now after bogeys at the 12. South African Ian Snyman has family here in South Korea. He's 2 under, alongside last year's KPGA champion Seung Bin Choi. There is Chaz Jane Watananon, one of 2 former Asian Tour Order of Merit winners in the field this week. Him and Siwan Kim. Chaz 1 under par through 15 as he continues to try and find the form that saw him top the Asian Tour Order of Merit back in that memorable 2019 season. Tipong, a 3-time winner on the Asian Tour. He is on quite the run. He's just made eagle at the 4th, birdies on 5 and 6. All of a sudden, fever starting to turn up the heat. Gets himself back to 1 under par after a very tough front 9 of 39. So a good little bounce back there from Tipong. What began as a friendly golf tournament between the professionals in South Korea and Japan has evolved through this championship's 40-year history to be one of the most popular events and one of the most sought-after titles here on the Asian Tour. The Shinhan Donghae Open, our 3rd visit to South Korea this year. Saw plenty of drama in the first 2 trips at the Maekyong Open and the Kolon Korea Open. What does this week have in store for us in the city of Incheon? Just 5 minutes away from Incheon International Airport, Korea's gateway to the world. A 19 under par, the score to beat last year. Match Fortune of Kong Wat Mai, and this man entered 72 holes on that total. It took a sudden death playoff to crown this man the champion, and he is making a bit of a mess of this 16th hole. Heavy second shot, poor pitch. Take Go in danger of dropping a shot.
It was very sloppy the last two shots by Go and Ogiso. Just laying up in this par 5.
So Go now for par. Just when we were talking about how solid he is, even when he's not having a great day, just comes a little unstuck here on 16.
It should be uphill most of the way, then just levels out just a bit at the hole for Yubin Zhang.
He's in a lot of good putts today, Yubin Zhang. He's given himself good opportunities, good looks, and that's all you can ask for, tee to green. Whether that pesky pellet burrows its way underground, once you have a putter in hand, it's very much in the lap of the gods.
It's just law of averages. Figure you give yourself enough chances, eventually you're going to find that condensed amount of time where putts do start to fall. Second shot at the 18th for Jun. Looks like this has got to be left. That's not bad there for the whole location today.
Certainly better than being right. I promise you that. Now, Ishikawa. For a third birdie in 4 holes. Will do the card of Ryo Ishikawa, no damage whatsoever.
Not in the clear for a bogey just yet for Kuntek.
Okay, limits the damage to just 1. Defending champion after that hot start with a couple of birdies has found the going a little tricky here in the opening round. SHK flirting with the penalty area here on the home hole. In fact, did find the penalty area. That was his 4th shot. So that's for a 74. Just the 1 top 10 on the PGA Tour this season for Kim. The CJ Cup.
He's been really struggling with his tee ball this year compared to his season last year. Just a bit out of position. Last year he was gaining strokes off the tee. This year losing strokes. The margins so fine when you have the top players in the world competing against each other.
So not the worst miss in the world for Garam John, going for the green on 18, finding that left-hand greenside trap. suppose you could say it's the fact that we did have that deluge of rain in the early stages of the afternoon, compacting this sand, making it a little bit denser, has made the shot a little simpler, because you do tend to get rather fluffy lies out of this heavy sand at the ocean course.
And as long as he makes a decent contact here, he's going to get that appropriate amount of spin, and the softness of the greens will help. The only thing he's got to worry about is if he lands on the slight downhill slope just short of the green, it may project the ball forward a bit. Too clean.
Such a scary shot for your weekend golf, a bunker shot with water on the opposite side. What is the key for the viewers watching at home to tackling a shot like this, Anthony?
Well, you just got to be committed. The amateur players, they have a hard time of being committed to impact area.
It's been another fascinating day at the ocean course. Plenty of birdies, plenty of great shots, but a couple of big numbers as well. As we inch towards the end of our opening round coverage, still Jae-Woong sitting pretty in the clubhouse after that stellar round of 65. But Tomoyo Ikemura still with a couple of opportunities upcoming to try and grab that solo lead going into Friday's action. He's on the par 5 7th at the moment. Anthony Coyle went along very well at this championship last year. He's opened his campaign solidly with a 67, so too for Kyungnam Kang and the reigning Korean Open champion, In-Kyu Kim. So let's look back fondly at opening round highlights here at Club 72, and starting with, well, the Korean Open champion, In-Kyu Kim, who was the early pace setter. A couple of birdies as the rain started to pour. For the victor at Wujong Hills, Yubin Jang, well, he was so close at the Korean Open, ultimately finishing in third. That was a 2-putt birdie at the 5th for Yubin Jang to open his account for this year's Shinhan Donghae Open.
At the par 5 7th, Yubin Jang once again on the green in 2. Due to the distance, just making sure that he leaves himself a manageable second putt. Got the distance correct, but just a bit of concern on his birdie attempt, a little bit of a left to right to break.
That was a very nice bounce back after his bogey from 20 feet at the 6th. Then this was just a little bonus birdie as the rain started to pour. Yubin Jang was pouring putts in. That took him to 2 under par.
And then showing the control here with a short iron, just a condensed wedge swing. Throwing out to the left just for a bit of a safety precaution, but using the slope nicely. Just a tap in distance.
That would take him to 11 under par, and this was just a couple of moments ago. Great try to get to 4 under, but just refused to drop for Jang.
And Jae-Woong playing in the morning wave. Nice birdie there at the 7th. Then one of the shots of the day here at the difficult 8th. Hitting into similar length on a 200+ yard par 3.
Why stop at 2 birdies in a row? You can make 3. This one out of the step cut of rough at the par 4 9th, all over the flagstick. Just trundle through a little. I'll tell you what, when it's your day, it's your day. This birdie putt never looked like missing for 3 birdies in a row to end his round this morning. We'll see him in tomorrow afternoon's featured group coverage. 65, the best score posted so far anyway here on day 1. So the curtain comes down on this opening round at the Shinhan Donghae Open. You surprised at the pace of scoring we've seen so far, Anthony?
Well, not at all. As expected, towards the latter half of the day, we see a lot of birdies starting to being made, and you see the cut score. As expected, like last year, it will be an under par cut. Currently, the cut is under par, even par, well outside. And the players will understand that heading into tomorrow and the weekend rounds with better weather, they got to keep their foot on the gas and keep shooting for birdies. There's no time to try to make pars and hold your score if you want to have a chance to win come on Sunday.
Which picture is going to be added to that mural of champions here at Club 72? Conditions, well, they got a little bit testy through the early stages of the afternoon. Min-Kyu Kim playing some fantastic golf as he did back in June at the Korean Open. Gun-tae Ko going to be the first man to successfully defend this title since Sang-moon Bae. Yubin Jang looking to consolidate his position at the top of the Genesis points list. Who's going to make their moves on Friday? The weather should be better. I certainly hope that you'll join us once again for more action here in the Asian Tour. Until then, this is bye-bye for now.